In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to take harsh dissonance and build beautiful chords around them. If you want to keep all the chords and the concepts I'm going to talk about in this lesson, I added them to my chord dictionary guide. You can download it for free. First link in the description box below. I updated the version. So what is really nice to do is to start your chord from a semitone dissonance and build it around there. So the easiest way to start doing it is to do it from the strings 2 and 3 because there's only a 3 frets gap. So for example, I'm playing on the 6th fret of the 2nd string and the 9th fret of the 3rd string. So when I do that, that's a semitone dissonance. If you want to do it elsewhere from any other sets of strings, that's going to be a 4 frets gap like this. So if that's the first time you did that, it's going to be easier to fret from the 2nd and 3rd strings. And the method is just to assign a function to both of these notes, and then we're going to build the rest of the chord around them. So for example, if that's the 2 and the minor 2nd of my chord, then I need to build the rest. Generally, we want to have the root, the 3rd, and the 5th of the chord, and then if we want, and if we have room left, we can add any other extension we want. So now I have the 2 and the minor 3rd, so I just need to find the root of the chord and the 5th of the chord. So if that's my 2, that means that 2 frets below, that's going to be my root, which is D, right? So if I add an open D to that, it's already beautiful like this. And then the 5th of the chord, we don't have a lot left, right? The 5th of the chord would be a G, so right, that's too big of a stretch. So instead, I could use another extension. You don't have to have the 5th of the chord always. So I could have a minor 7th. And that gives us a beautiful chord based off of that dissonance right here. And we could do that and assign any function we want to these notes. So let's say that this time, this is going to be my major 3rd and the 4. So now, if that's the major 3rd, 3, 2, 1, now my root is going to be C, right? So I could do, right? And once again, if I want to have the 5th, that's going to be way too stretchy. Or I could, instead of playing the C here on the 5th string, I could play it from the 6th, right? So that gives us... And then I could add another root on top or something. You can really take the base of the chord and then try other notes, other extensions to see if that sounds great. I could have a 2 on top. So that's a really, really nice chord right here. Let's do another one. Let's say this is the sharp 4 and the 5. So now everything is going to be different again. So right, sharp 4, 3, 2, 1. So now my new root is going to be B flat. Right? So now that I have the 1, the sharp 4, and the 5, I need to find the major 3rd of that chord. So it could be here. Or I could put the B flat at the bottom. And then that's going to be hard to find the 3rd, but I could have some kind of sus chord if I want. So I have 1, 2, sharp 4, 5. Beautiful chord, right? It's great to experiment with different voicings with that concept. Let's do a last one just for fun. Let's say this is the 7 and the 1. So now that's my root, right? So I could play the root at the bottom. And conveniently, the major 3rd could be here. So you see the principle, you assign functions and you fill out the rest, right? So if I play all of these chords in the same progression, it's going to sound beautiful. So now one of your objections right now might be, this is too stretchy for me, right? I can't play This is so stretchy to do that. So one solution you could do is instead of choosing your semitone dissonance from a closed position, you could do it from an open position, meaning that you're going to choose an open string out of the two. So I could have my open first and then play my dissonance of a semitone right here. Right? So that's the open first and then the 4th fret on the 2nd string. And then do the same exact principle. So let's say this is my 2 and my minor 3rd. Then, right, so that is going to be my new root, C sharp. So, and once again, if I want to find the 5th of my chord, that would be so way too stretchy. So I could have the minor 7th. Much more manageable voicing, right? Like this. If that's the major 3rd and the 4, then my new root is going to be 3, 2, 1, B. Right? So I could have... This one's easy. I can just fill out the B bar chord with the open string. If that's the sharp 4 and the 5, then my new root is going to be an A, right? So I could have an open A. And then I need to find a major 3rd that's missing. A, B, C sharp. This one is super nice. And then if this is my 7 and my 1, then my root is E. And once again, I need to find a major 3rd. 1, 2, 3. So once again, beautiful progression and much more manageable in terms of voicings. Super nice. And another of your question could be, is that all that we can do, like a 2nd and a minor 3rd, a major 3rd and a 4, sharp 4 and 5, 7 and 1? Those are my favorites. I think they fit really well together in the same progression, but you can try whatever you want. It's going to give you different flavors or different crunches, right, in your chords. So let's say that now this is going to be my root and a flat 2nd. Let's try that, right? So that's going to give us a kind of Phrygian or Locrian flavor because we have the root and flat 2nd, which is typical of those modes. So now my root is a E flat. So now if I want to build a minor chord, I have the root, minor 3rd, 5, and then with the crunch at the top. That's very dissonant. I could get used to that sound. But I think that the goal of this exercise is to take what would be a harsh dissonance and camouflage it into a chord that's going to make it sound harmonious. So with a chord like this, it kind of defies the purpose of the exercise, which is to take something that sounds harsh and make it sound good out of it, right? So if you want to keep all the chords and the principles, I added them to my chord dictionary guide. So this is a guide where I add many chords that I teach in my lessons on YouTube, and I just compiled them into the same resource. You can download it and have access to the material of this lesson, but also beautiful add 9 chords and add 11 and cluster voicings and chords great for songwriting, and I keep adding to it. And if you already downloaded it in the past, that's going to be an updated version to re-download, so you can just add your email below. Click on the first link in the description box below and get my chord dictionary guide. I hope that you got a lot from this lesson, and until next time, au revoir.